Okay, today is November 19th, 2018, and right now at 9 p.m. we have a temperature of 54 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 41%, the dew point is 31 degrees, and the barometric pressure is 29.96 inches. And that's dropped a little bit. Okay, the last 3 days, the previous 3 days, we've had very heavy chemtrail spraying. That's the aerosols being sprayed over the moisture field moving into California. We've had zero rain. We have a low pressure system moving into California right here. We can see that. This actually has an oblique angle imprint on the vortex. We'll take a close look at that here in the western U.S. water vapor loop. There is a satellite transmitter at work, weakening this vortex, and we have a crescent-shaped dry area. This is basically a half of a low pressure system. We've got a second low pressure out here with the front. This is part of the jet stream actually, and this is all being blockaded by this high pressure installation right here on top of that low pressure moving in. We can also see the aerosols being sprayed right here. That is preventing this water vapor from moving into that vortex. So this is a very large weather system, and what's even more astonishing right now is when we look at the IntelliCast Doppler map, we actually have zero rain in California right now. Let's go ahead and zoom out, and this is the current IntelliCast Doppler map. We see some radar images out here of some precipitation, which is being chopped up by those ground-based WSR-88Ds. Take a look at this. This is why California has a drought and why we have 145 million dead trees. 145 million dead trees in this state. And when you add the nanoparticulate aluminum, which is being sprayed on top of these forests, that nanoparticulate aluminum, when it burns, it acts as an accelerant, which makes those fires really take off. Powdered aluminum is used in fireworks, as is powdered magnesium, phosphorus, iron oxides, and many other elements. And so we see zero rain in California as a result of the heavy chemtrail spraying the last 3 days, the previous 3 days, and today. If you look at today's MODIS Today map, this is Los Angeles right here. This is today's MODIS Today map, and we see the heavy spraying all over the state. Look at this. Look at these lines running every which way. Looks like graph paper. Look at out here. This is the Eastern California desert out here. There are just dozens and dozens of these chemtrail streaks all over the place. Here's the Mexican border right here. This is the Colorado River. And we have a giant low pressure system moving in right now. We should have had rain yesterday. We saw the clouds moving in yesterday, early yesterday. Let's take a look again at this weather system moving in. This is we'll take a look at the surface analysis map. Take a look at this these angles, these straight edges. We've got two straight edges and what looks to be about a 120-degree angle on this weather system. So we've got a satellite transmitter manipulating the vortex of this low pressure system. And all this water vapor that's moving into California has been completely sprayed over. We just showed that on the MODIS Today map. The chemtrail aerosols prevent the lift in the atmosphere. And that's why we're not having a precipitation right now. Despite this huge weather system moving in, we have zero precipitation. So we see how effective the aerosols and the satellite transmitters are at manipulating the weather. The chemtrail aerosols lower the relative humidity because they are a desiccant. Aluminum nanoparticulate is a desiccant. And we have the lift in the atmosphere has been capped by that upper layer of chemical haze. So we have a low pressure system moving in and zero rain. This is really astonishing. And on the nightly news here in Southern California and around the country, everyone is being treated to cartoon weather, animated weather. They're not showing this. This right here should be dumping 2-3 inches of rain all day today and yesterday. Let's look at the pressure maps. Here's the jet stream right here. This is the jet stream map first, and then we'll take a look at the pressure maps. We see this hooking around a low pressure that's right behind this guy here. You see some high-speed flow. Let's take a look at the surface pressure map right now. And as I say, I don't know if I mentioned, this is the second take I've done on this video. Yesterday, this low that's moving into California right now was a closed low at the surface level all the way up to the 300 millibar level. Today we see some strange looking isobars. We have a right angle here, and we have a lot of squiggly lines right here near the coast of California. This is all unnatural. Everything, all these isobars should look just like what we're seeing here. Very smooth, gradual curves. Nothing like this or like this. We have a right angle there. Look at that. Of course, this is not shown on the mainstream media. Fake news, trash, garbage news. It's not shown. And then we have here the 500 millibar map. Look at this. Yesterday, this was a closed low right here, and today it's not. We have manipulation occurring. We can see some jaggies right here, squiggly lines. Look at here. Look at this little blip right there. So this is indicative of a mixture of high and low pressure right here. Same here. And that's why this low has been broken down as a result of all this manipulation. This low has been broken down. It's no longer a closed low at the 500 millibar level. If we look at the 300, we still have a closed low, but by tomorrow this will be broken up as well. This will be completely changed by tomorrow. Now here we see more squiggly lines here. So we've got a problem here with our weather being manipulated, and it's not being reported by the mainstream media. We've got, let's take a look here at the southwest water vapor loop. You can see that low pressure moving in. All of this should be generating a lot of rain for southern and central California. We should be seeing snow in the mountains at the higher elevations. Look at this straight edge here. Look at that. We never used to see straight edges on the vortexes of weather systems. And this is the reason why these videos, or rather these satellite images, are never shown on TV. So all this water vapor is moving in, and it's just amazing. There's no precipitation here in the Doppler map anywhere except for right here. And we saw the pattern on that water vapor, that precipitation that was falling offshore. It's been all chopped up by those WSR 88Ds that are positioned around the coast of Southern California and San Diego, Los Angeles. We can see here that the precipitation has been chopped up and evaporated. So President Trump and Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown, you better put your heads together. And what I mean by that is to hire outside consultants, outside scientists that are not working with the federal government. You want to hire meteorologists, seasoned meteorologists that are in their 60s and older, because the new crop of youngsters that are doling out the news on the fake news television, these people are dizzy. They don't know up from down. And they are the perfect candidates for disseminating trash news because they don't know any better. All right, so here is the surface analysis map. We see that low pressure system. There's actually two lows indicated here. One is 1,009, the other is 1,010 millibar. This is moving right into California. We see a purple occluded front right here. This is their version of that quasi right angle that we saw on the vortex. This is an occluded front is a warm front overtaking a cold front right in the middle of a vortex. So we have an occluded front indicated here. That should never be ever happen in the middle of a vortex. Should never happen. In other words, what they're saying by putting an occluded front on the surface analysis map is that we have a warm air front in the middle of this overtaking a cold front. And the only way that can happen is when you have satellite transmitters manipulating and heating the center of this weather system to break down and isolate the vortex, which is exactly what's happening. We're not seeing this moisture wrap back around into that low pressure vortex. Instead, we see a blockade engineered. None of this frontal system moisture can flow towards that low without being evaporated. In fact, we're seeing the aerosols, these chemtrail aerosols being sprayed right here. That prevents that moisture from reaching the center, the lowest pressure of that weather system right there. But I hope President Trump and his people are watching, because this has to be stopped. If I was the president right now, I would write an executive order which would immediately stop and outlaw the trading of weather futures and derivatives here in this country, because the financial incentives have to be removed in order for this to stop. This is precisely how this whole process got so out of order and out of control. And the fake news mainstream media is blaming it on carbon dioxide, which is BS. That's not their version of events is not true. Carbon dioxide is not causing this straight edge, and it's not causing the lack of rain here in California when we have a huge weather system moving in. It has nothing to do with carbon dioxide or smokestack emissions. So we're getting false, misleading, phony information from the mainstream media. Fake news. They are the enemy of the people. They are lying about the weather, and they're lying about all sorts of things. This Russian hoax, trying to frame the president for things that he knows nothing about, didn't get involved in. But this is the biggest crime right here by far. That Russian thing is a mirage. So there it is. We saw the pressure maps. We saw the MODIS today map right here. Look at all these aerosols. They're everywhere. This is why we had no precipitation today, yesterday, and the 2 days prior, because of what's going on here. These aerosols are very effective in the southwest U.S. at completely stopping the precipitation process. Up north, where the temperatures are lower, the dew point is higher, these aerosols are not quite as effective, but they still manipulate the weather patterns. We know that from the comments we see here regularly from people living in Oregon and Washington State, here on the Pacific Coast. Washington State and Oregon. All right. Okay, so we've seen all this. I'd like to tell the viewers about a video I came across. The title of this YouTube video is called Trump Visits Areas Affected by California Wildfires. The length of this video is 6 minutes and 8 seconds. I believe it was a CBS video. And if you find the video and scroll to 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and you get to hear President Trump talk about, he answers a couple of reporters asked, well, what do you think, Mr. Trump? Does this change your mind about climate change? That was one question. And then the other one was, do you think that climate change played a role in these fires? And so everybody should see that. I think that there's some hidden messages in that video. It looks to me like Trump and Gavin Newsom and Brown may be looking at things just a little bit differently, which is good. Not in terms of managing the forest, but also what's causing the drought, mainly. So that video, once again, Trump visits areas affected by California wildfires. All right, so we'll just leave it right here. We have a huge weather system moving in and zero precipitation right there. There you have it. And this is a criminal. Again, the financial incentives have to be removed. The weather derivatives and options, all that trading, betting on the weather has to be outlawed ASAP. Okay, that's it.